Hey everyone, this is the Innovator's Mindset with Kim Gameroz. There we go. It's not phonetic, I'm just saying. Okay, so Kim and I have been talking for like an hour and 25 minutes, and that was the podcast. And
Yeah.
it was so good, and now you'll never hear it. So we decided we'll just do 20 minutes. Can't Kim, I was telling her I have no idea who she is,
Mhm.
and out of nowhere, she's all over my Instagram, and her new book, Becoming the Bison, the social emotional solution educators need right now, is being shared by so many people. And I'm like, I just want to know this person, and I want to learn more about her book. So I just bought it on Kindle because I like to read when I'm traveling, and I can't carry a bunch of books around. But the link is down below, and I hope you will consider. And after you listen to Kim, you'll be like, oh, I need to get this book. So I've just been talking to her for an hour and basically told me all about the book, and I bought it anyway, so you should check it out. Kim, you are a breath of fresh air. I cannot wait to hear more about the book. Even though I didn't read it yet, I apologize. But I'm going to read it. It's like, it's happening tomorrow. This is like happening tomorrow.
Obviously.
Yeah, what do you mean, obviously? So, like, listen, Kim's on my Instagram. I'm like, I want to know this person. And I was right. She's awesome. So I'm like so excited to have you on. So, Kim, can you just tell everyone who you are, what you do today, how you got there? Great place to start.
Well, first of all, you called me a hurricane, is what you
You are
said
a
first.
hurricane. You're a hurricane that showed up on my Instagram. It's like, oh, Kim Gameroz, everybody, Kim. That's what it was.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I'm filled with
And
energy.
instead of like pink shoes or red shoes, it's a pink book.
It is.
It is a
That's
pink
what
book.
it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a good place to start. I'm a former first grade teacher turned into a district leader.
Mm,
And the journey with all of that really was because year after year, I had kids coming into my classroom with autism,
mm,
big behaviors, ADD, ADHD, and I didn't know how to support them. I had a psychology background, I was a teacher, and I had like all my bags of tricks, and it wasn't enough. And I went to our speech pathologist, who was a good friend of mine at my former school site where I was at. And I said, hey, if they're in with you for 30 minutes, these kids, there's got to be a way I can bring whatever you're doing
mm.
in your little room into my classroom all day long. And that was honestly, George, the catalyst of everything to be able to speak common language, have common systems and routines, teach into the lagging skills of kids, and support them socially, emotionally, academically. But, I was a transformed person. I all of a sudden felt like completely empowered and equipped. And then those kids went on to the next school year, and those teachers were like, Kim, help me. And then pretty soon, we've been talking about Instagram a lot too. I just
Mm.
had people flooding into
Right.
my classroom after school going, help me, help me. I've heard the grapevine, I've seen on IG. What are you doing? So I was the hurricane. Then I went to the district office,
Yeah.
started doing work there, and we had 18 elementary schools, seven middle schools, four high schools, and me as a party of one going,
Mhm.
how do I intentionally support all of these adults and children across our entire district? And fast forward, I created systems and routines and all the things that they needed, a website, all this stuff, and intentional coaching, and cohorts and community. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we talked about this too. I got out of Southern California, moved to Texas, which is
Yeah.
where I am now. And the dream back then was, how do I do this again over and over and over? And so that's what I did. I built two businesses, Celebrate Good Times, where teachers pay, believe it or not, out of their own teacher salary, out of their pockets,
Yep.
to be coached by me, to join a community of educators who are struggling, who are anxious, who are in the parking lot crying at the end of the school day, or who don't want to go in, or who are dreading the Sunday scaries. That community of educators across the country,
Hmm.
we're traveling to New Mexico in like a week and a half. We do
Oh,
beautiful
that's
teacher
awesome.
retreats and do things that they actually need, give them the support they're actually craving, action steps, not just fluff. And then I also built another business, Teaching Inside Out, where I support groups of educators across school campuses and across their district. And the work has just blown up. And we were talking about this before into multiple podcasts
Yeah.
and unconference conference Vibe EDU in Southern California, and now a nonprofit and a foundation. So we have other people who are going, this is the stuff that educators actually need. We're going to pour the funding your way so that they don't have to pay for it themselves. And that's what it's morphed into.
I love it. You know, luckily there's no behavioral issues in schools now. So
Luckily, thank
right,
goodness.
luckily that's all solved. I do appreciate the emphasis that you have on supporting teachers, but here's something I kind of got from you as we're talking is I think a lot of times we kind of dance around a problem, which doesn't solve a problem. And you saw an issue and you're not like, I'm trying not to say this in a negative way. You're not like, oh, it's like optimistic in that way. You're very solution focused. That to me, I think a lot of times people like when you're talking about how you're supporting kids that, you know, have some of these struggles, it's like, oh, you're like, you know, toxic positivity and like garbage and stuff like that too. It's like, no. It's like, it's actually like strategies to support these kids. And so through that process, I feel you're not getting teachers from a negative to zero, but you're actually some of the issues. It's actually they feel really empowered and again solution focused, not like optimistic or positive, but solution focused, which you know is a better feeling than feeling like I'm just surviving. I'm just okay. I've learned how to deal with this just enough so I can do the rest of my work. So that's one of the things that really connects with you when you're talking about this with me earlier. I do want to ask you about Becoming the Bison, and I'm going to read the whole title: the social emotional solution educators need right now. So one of the endorsements, I saw this is interesting. Don't be mistaken. This book is not about social emotional learning. This book is social emotional learning. So can you tell me a little bit about the book and then actually talk about kind of how you define social emotional learning and what that looks like in schools?
Yeah.
That's a big question. Big question.
Social emotional learning, so many people have got it wrong.
Mhm.
They think that it's just first of all, that it comes from a boxed curriculum. Also that it's just maybe morning meetings or community circles.
Mhm.
And what they don't really realize is it starts with you first.
Yeah.
It starts with the adult in the room. And it's how can you intentionally stay regulated
Yeah.
when all those little fires start to pop up, and what can you actually control in those situations. And that is the book Becoming the Bison. It is all about how to intentionally respond instead of react. And believe me, I mean,
Right.
I'm a hurricane. I will react most of the
Right.
time.
Mhm.
However, it's a lot of internal work that we need to do as, again, the adults
Mhm.
first, so
Mhm.
that we can support the other children in the room. But it comes from us. It comes from us first. So,
Right.
becoming the bison, I mean, we kind of were chit-chatting about this, and you were like, nope, don't tell me, don't tell me.
Yeah.
So,
I don't. I didn't know.
bison,
Yeah. I'm waiting for this.
bison, and as
Bison.
you say, bison.
Bison.
Bison, they head into the storm. And I had a business coach who had told me about this, and she was like, Kim, your mindset, you're the solution oriented gal. You are take action. You are how do we support, how do we fix this? And she was like, you're just like the bison. They run into the storms. Cattle, on the other hand, they run away. And so I kind of sat with the word bison for a while, and the word intentional kept on coming up for me. And that I in bison, I was kept on thinking to myself, okay, how can I word this in a way that really makes sense about teaching people that it's about you? It's about you first. And so be intentional so others notice.
Mhm.
That's Bison, that came to be. And it's become a mindset for children also about grit, perseverance, that growth mindset that we so desperately want our children to have. But again, you can't just teach that to kids and not do the work yourself. And how do you do that? You pick up Becoming the Bison and you start getting into the work right away. So, yeah, the book isn't about social emotional
Right.
learning. It's not teaching you what to do with kids.
Right.
It is social emotional learning. It's the stuff you need to start with yourself.
So I was just perusing your hurricane of Instagram,
Yeah.
and I saw you posted. I think I posted one of your stories, and was the students all had bison the
Bison.
bison. They had the. Do you know what I'm talking? I think you just posted this today, right? It was like they had the bison,
Mhm.
right?
Stuffed animal.
And they they had some words written on that. What? Tell me about that. What was that? Am I wrong?
So, no, you're
There's
correct.
just a lot. There's a lot.
Uh-huh.
There's houses. There's kids doing stuff.
So our teachers, the teachers that we work with,
Yeah.
whether they're a part of our community or they've picked up the book or they're part of a school or school district that we work with, that we work with them on the
Mhm.
bison mentality. And that is something that they teach their kids. And when you are a bison, when you are being intentional so others notice, it's what do you want them to notice? What do you want your students to notice? I want them to notice that I am always there. I'm always listening to them. I'm always supportive. I've created intentionally these spaces that feel warm and inviting. That's being a bison.
Right.
And as students, it's I chose a smart spot away from my friend so I wouldn't be tempted to talk, right? And guess what? They noticed. It got quiet in the room all of a sudden. Or I intentionally use kind words or invited somebody to play that I wouldn't normally invite over. And guess what? They noticed. They felt included.
Right.
They felt like they were part of our classroom community. And so what you're talking about is a teacher who every single Friday she will have a celebration with an SEL celebration
Mhm.
with her students, and they will nominate or they will choose a Bison of the Week, and they get celebrated, they get their picture taken, and that window was filled with pictures of those students, fifth graders, George. That's who you
Mhm.
saw just
Yeah.
then. Fifth graders in Southern California. They were holding the bison and they wrote, I'm a bison when. And it's pretty powerful when you hear it from the mouths of babes.
Mhm.
It's not just a thing that you need to do, it's like internal deep work and it lasts a lifetime. And when you can get parents
Right.
also involved, and we have a family in New Jersey right now that I mean, it's pretty wild to think what's happened out there. A
Mhm.
child with severe anxiety didn't want to come to school in a bison classroom, right? I'm coaching the teacher and they're all about those Friday celebrations. But that parent, I mean, I know that parent from a couple
Mhm.
years ago when this teacher had the older son,
Mhm.
and that parent said, I know what we can do. We're going to print out pictures of the bison. We're going to put pictures all around your mirror at home.
Mhm.
We're going to talk about heading into the storm of the school day. And guess what? That kid has completely changed. And it's an incredible thing when everybody speaks the same language, when everybody normalizes what it looks like and feels like to head into the storm and do the hard thing together, forward together.
I
That's
love that.
that's being part of your herd. You need your people, you need your herd, and the community is part of that too.
Okay, so I love all this stuff that you're talking about. There's something that stuck out to me, really talking about the adults, and I'm curious if you see a connection to this. So early in my teacher career, super overwhelmed. I'm taking everything personal.
Mm,
Cattle, right?
yeah,
Being a little bit cattle.
totally.
And there was someone who came to our district. It was my third year teaching. I can't remember anything they said other than one thing. I don't know who this is. I remember this, and they said, "Never let an 8-year-old ruin your day." And I was
Mm.
like, "Oh my god!" Like I am like losing my mind. Some kid calling me poo poo head. Like it was nothing, right? And I'm like getting worked up about anything, and it was kind of a centering moment for me. I just remember that, and it was looking at kids like, hey, this kid who's like upset, and I'm not. When I tell the story, I don't want people thinking I'm like disrespectful behavior is okay. But a lot of times the disrespectful behavior was toward me, but it wasn't meant for me. It was meant for something else that happened earlier in the day. And it just helped me deal with it better because it was like everything was about me, everything was personal and stuff like that too. So it was really interesting how, that it really helped me in my career deal with the behaviors better than I was prior, not ignore them, but not to get worked up in a situation where I was actually making bad decisions on how to deal with it. The other thing that, and you kind of hinted it forward together, and I appreciate that. Um, One of the things I talk about in the book that I think really connects to your idea is I tell people to, when I'm working in large groups, challenge me, tell me where I'm wrong. And I think that's like heading into the storm. But I feel like the storm is going to happen somewhere. I just want to be able to deal with it myself because if it
Yes.
happens outside in the parking lot, the storm could get worse if you don't head into it. So what do you I'm curious about what you think about that idea. Cause I'm like, yeah, tell me where I'm wrong. Like challenge me, push back. Cause I would prefer you do it in the room so I can actually have a chance to address it. And weirdly enough, I feel it kind of people never get as confrontational when you actually give them the opportunity to and like to genuinely hear them, not like, oh no, I'm right because of this, but like, oh yeah, I never thought of that context, or that's a totally different way, and to be open to the feedback. And that's something I did as an administrator, like, hey, like let's have a conversation about this. So is that part of what you are talking about?
Well, I love that you said that because when you said those words, my brain went to don't get furious,
Mm-hmm.
get curious.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Start digging into the why. And I think so many conversations recently are like, especially talking about behaviors, right? It's
Yeah.
the iceberg, and like underneath the iceberg is everything that else is going on, and the trauma and the
Yeah.
invisible backpack.
Yeah.
And yes, but I need something as an adult just to like very easily go, stop, wait, hold on, pause.
Yeah.
Don't get furious, get curious. And so I think like conversations, super, super simple ones with kids, but this goes for adults too. I've noticed what's up. So I've
Yeah.
noticed that I'm seeing this behavior that keeps on popping up during math time all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? And start to kind of dig and ask yourself before you start asking a kid, what is it? Is it because maybe it's tricky for them to open up their book and tear
Right.
out that math workbook page? I mean, what if you tore out that math workbook page and then all of a sudden the behavior goes away? So it isn't the behavior and it isn't math time. It's just, if I controlled that one thing for this kid, it might lighten the load,
Right.
right? So I don't feel like a firefighter all day long. I think that's what you're talking about. I think it is the how do I get curious,
Right.
right? What do I need? What are the steps that I need to take in order to pause first? And that's the stuff that we talk about. That's deep work. That's deep work.
Yeah, and I really want to reiterate because I think we talked about this prior. It's not like, oh, the behavior is okay. That's not you know there has to be consequences for bad behavior and all that stuff too. But it is really kind of centering yourself. I think really is something that you're emphasizing. I think is really important in the work that we do every single day. The last thing I asked you about, and I could talk to you all day, and I've almost done that.
It's been
We're pretty
almost
close. We're pretty close. Can you tell me about the unconference that you were talking about? I think is it coming? There's another one coming up this August.
There sure is.
So tell me about that. What's going on there? And where is
So
it? When is it? What is it?
yeah, yeah. I think, when I remember sitting in PD, I just remember going, are we really gonna go through
Hmm.
another 80-page slide deck? Is that what we're
Right.
gonna do? And like I'd rather sit on my computer, but like I got to put my
Right.
computer down and now I'm
Right.
like fidgeting and now I'm feeling anxious because I'm not getting anything out of this. Or you pay to go to a conference and it's in a ballroom where like the water is like with the ice and the water and the glasses are sweating on the linen tablecloth and you're like, oh my God,
Talking
right?
about. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah, I know. And so for me, I know it's important to flip PD on its head a little
about.
bit. It needs to feel good. It needs to be a lovely space. And I am all about an intentional, beautiful space where you actually feel like you're getting your money's worth
Yeah.
and you're also connecting. Connection is huge for me. I may be the hurricane, but connection is
Yeah.
at the end of that. And
Yep.
so I built Vibe EDU. It is in Anaheim, California.
Yep.
Last
Go
year,
Ducks. Go Ducks.
it is right across from the Honda Center. So it's at the Arctic in
Okay.
Anaheim, a beautiful space. So I was telling you earlier, it's
I saw it.
a
I actually saw it. It's very, very nice.
right? It's a glass dome. So when we're talking about breaking through glass ceilings here, it is the perfect space. There are no walls. So it is all about connection. You can kind of like hear other breakout sessions happening. You can walk through them. But the most important thing to me was that no slide decks.
Yeah.
I want people who actually know their stuff in the room, who can open up a conversation to the people who are there so they can ask questions about behavior, they can ask about leadership, they can ask about the hard stuff and actually get answers. But I also wanted everybody under one roof. I
Right.
wanted your administrators, I wanted
Right.
teachers, I also wanted parents. And
Mhm.
so this is a space where I always have one of my former students. Her name is Lucy. She was diagnosed with autism at a very young age, and she is the one, the catalyst, I will say, who was the hurricane in my classroom that changed everything for me. That
Right.
made me go, Kim, what are you going to do here? How are you really going to support the brains and the hearts of children that are like Lucy? Because you're going to have another Lucy, another one could open, that door could open up, you could have another one, throw you for a loop again. So what are you going to do? So Lucy always speaks at my conferences that
Oh,
I've had. She will be there. But it's important to really bring all voices
yeah,
together so we can amplify them. And I know that's what you stand for too. And
totally.
I just love that I'm able to build that space for educators year after year because there's work to do. And you deserve to feel supported. You deserve to get answers. You deserve to have solutions on the other side, not
Mhm.
just spin and talk in
Right.
circles.
Not that it ever happens in education where we just talk. Nothing
Never.
happens.
So July 31st in Anaheim, and then we're going to do a VIP day on August 1st with a small intimate coaching group over at Avenue of the Arts in Costa Mesa.
Okay, so okay, listen, everyone, listen to this podcast. If you're not watching this, you got to connect with Kim. Hurricane on Instagram, and she's like, I'm gonna tell you, you like your emojis. You're an emoji.
I do.
You do like emojis.
You bison heart.
You do like your emojis. I love it. So, in the link down below, you will see the book. You will see the link to the conference. You are like just a light. I just love it, and I am looking forward. This is why I love my podcast is because I'm just like, hey, here is a good way just to say like I want to talk to you, and it's like we'll record it, and hopefully everyone else benefits from it too. I know they have, and I know they will continue, and I'm like looking forward to more connecting with you. So check out the links down below. Kim, you are awesome. I would love to come to this, so I'm hoping that I can. I don't know. Am I allowed to come? Am I allowed to be there?
You're invited, baby.
All
You're
right.
invited.
Okay. Well, if I'm around, then I would love to head out that way. So everyone connect with Kim. Check out the book, Becoming the Bison. Check out the conference, and make sure you connect with Kim. And you are in for it if you connect with Kim on Instagram. Just give you a heads up. It's a lot. You are very active there, by the way.
You try to be.
I love it. I love it. And like not like weird active, but like I'm like, how is she pumping everybody up? That's like
You know,
that's a good thing. That's a
but
good thing.
it's the bison. I want you to
Bison.
notice.
It's
I want
bison.
you to I want you to notice that. I
Yeah.
want you to feel inspired. I want you to feel
Yeah.
that energy. I want you to
Yeah.
notice those things. And I'm intentional. So I would
You
say
are.
that's the bison mentality in action.
Connect with Kim. Thank you everyone for listening. Kim, thanks for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.